Now then, my friends, I am on my way in my electric car, EV, electric vehicle, milk float, whatever you want to affectionately call it, back to Porsche Leeds, or Porsche Leeds if you're not being pretentious. Now, why am I going back to Porsche Leeds? Well, because it's having yet another recall. In fact, today it's having 2 recalls in one go, 2 for the price of 1. I've had so many recalls on this car. I mean, it's had more recalls than Arnold Schwarzenegger. But anyway, today it's going back in for a replacement brake hose, which I did a video on, because the brake hose could apparently fail, and then if it does fail, it can not be very good. It's not a good outcome if it fails. And also, it's going back in to have the software upgraded so it can check the battery to make sure that it doesn't short circuit, because apparently there's a danger with the batteries now, which I did a video about. I won't go into that. If you want to look into that, go back and have a look at my video and I'll tell you exactly the letter that came from Porsche. The original letter stated that not to park it near a building or a garage or anything, because it could set on fire, which led to me having my insurance cancelled, having to go with somebody else or not renewed, and then that cost me 3 times as much. Nice one, Porsche, thanks for that. It's not Porsche Leeds, by the way. Porsche Leeds are fantastic, and so are Nottingham, and so are Southlake. In fact, all the Porsche dealerships are great. I feel sorry for the Porsche manufacturer, or car manufacturers in general, and Porsche and the dealerships having to push these electric cars down the consumer's throats. You must have an electric car, because the governments, let's say for instance like Ed Miliband, what a absolute cockwomble he is, isn't he? I mean, if you look in the dictionary, cockwomble, it just has Ed Miliband next to that word, pushing this net zero agenda, etc. So, and that's why car manufacturers and car dealerships now have to push these electric cars onto people, when they know really they're a bit rubbish. Anyway, we're going to take it back. We're going to have the software upgraded. We're also going to have the brake the brake hose replaced. So that's done. It should be done in a day. Porsche Leeds have very kindly said they're going to loan me a car. Fingers crossed it isn't another electric one and we get a real car and not a milk float. If you are new to the channel, do me a favour. I am the MacMaster. I am here to help people from buying an electric car and making that mistake that I did. So hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos, share this video, share all my electric car videos, and show what it's really like to own an electric car. Now, without further ado, my friends, that was a long intro, let's go. Did you see that Kia? If you didn't see that Kia, that electric car, right, I've said this before, electric cars, the designers of electric cars must have gone to same school as Stevie Wonder. They look terrible, and that Kia in white, I mean, you say that they look like fridges and white goods. That Kia looked like a fridge on wheels, didn't it? It's just put the air conditioning on, you could keep a few vegetables and you know, vegetables in the car, and milk, and you know, a milk float. There we go. I mean, unbelievable. Who designs these things? Electric cars, there we go. I'm coming for a job as a designer for electric cars. What qualifications have you got? None? Great, there you go, bring it in. And then the portfolio consists of pictures that they've drawn from their childhood at school. You know, the cars that you used to draw when you were at school, like with a protractor and stuff, and a ruler. That's basically it, isn't it? But good grief, Oh, it makes me feel a bit ill. It makes me feel sad, actually. But I have to say, Porsche, in their defence, I believe the Taycan, and I'm being a little bit biased because I've got one, is the best looking electric car on the market, hands down. I think the Porsche designers there, they've gone, for the normal designers that have gone for a job, let me have a look now, you're out, mate. They've designed a beautiful car. What they've done is, they've designed a car that basically the original Panamera should have looked like. The original Porsche Panamera should have looked like this. When I saw the initial design of the Porsche Taycan, it was the Mission E, I thought, yeah, because all the concept car drawings never, the real one never looks like that, does it? But when they drew it, the Mission E, and then the Taycan came out, I thought, for the first time ever, the actual car resembled the concept drawing. Porsche nailed it with the design. The only thing that was missing was the engine. And that MG, look at it. It's just absolute. What have MG done to them cars? The MG is amongst the worst looking electric car that there is. It looks like, and in that colour, that blue, it looks like one of those three-wheeled light blue cars. In fact, that's even better looking. Remember the three-wheeled light blue disability cars that you got in the 1970s and 80s? I mean, that was a better design than that MG. It looks abysmal. What are car manufacturers doing with electric cars? I mean, why not make your cars look nice and have some kind of style? And it annoys me as well when you get the car manufacturers like Ford. Shame on you, Ford, for giving an electric car the name Capri when it looks nothing like a Ford Capri. Nothing at all. It doesn't deserve the accolade of the name Ford Capri. It should be, put an R in it. You missed an R out of it. A Ford Capri. It's just abysmal. And again with the Mustang, the Ford Mustang, it doesn't, you've made an electric version of the Ford Mustang. No, you haven't. What you've done is you've made an electric car and you've thought, I know, we did well with the Ford Mustang, let's bang that name on it. It doesn't work. Stop it. Stop it. If it's an electric car, come up with something else. I don't know, like the Ford Zanussi or whatever. Right, milk float off. What's going to be interesting is they're putting software onto this car to monitor the battery, and Porsche saying, look back at the video that I did, Porsche saying that don't charge it past 80% because if it short circuits, etc. So I'm going to be interested to see whether it throttles the charge time on it and what this software does. It's saying, I'm going to ask him, but I think it monitors it. So Porsche head office in Germany or UK or wherever can monitor your car if there's a fault. But I've just got reservations that it might throttle the charging of it, the charging limit or the speed. I don't know, and I may be wrong. I'm saying that I may be wrong. So I'm just concerned, that's the word. Anyway, let's get in there, and it'll be interesting to see when we get back. And let's get this loan car. Come on. Now that is the Turbo GT Taycan, incredibly quick. Have a look online what it is. I think it's something daft like 3 point something seconds. It's ridiculously fast, and a special colour as well. Ridiculously fast that car is. I think I'd rather have that 911 though. 119 grand. Same price as my Taycan was, roughly. Right, my friends, so I am in an Audi and it has an engine, and I have to say it is a nice place to be. It's a beautiful cockpit, it feels good, I like the sound of the engine. It's not a massive roar of an engine by any means, but it has got feeling to it, it has got soul, and it's got character, and that is what electric cars are missing. This is a nice car. I miss the flappy paddle gearbox, to be honest. I've never particularly, I don't miss manual gearboxes, I have to say. And this is a, well, it was a PDK in the Porsche. It'll be basically an automatic, but it's probably a bit more complex than just being an automatic now, like Porsche's was. But I did like my flappy paddle gearbox that I had in my Boxsters, and I miss that. And I miss it because you can change down when you want to and get a little bit of a boot on there, and I like the feeling and the reaction of the car. It's like you're working in harmony with each other, whereas an electric car is just stop and go, and there is no harmony between you and the car. Admittedly, you've got instant torque, but that's it, you've got nothing else. This is a nice car, and I've got no range anxiety. I've got petrol, I've got miles to go, 140 miles now, and I've only got a quarter of a tank of fuel. Come on, Porsche leads, you could have put more in than that. Anyway, can't ask for it all. Right, let's give this thing a spin and have a bit of fun. Right, so I've been driving the car now for about, changed down, for about an hour. Got myself familiar with the controls, had a little play with the car, dropped down a few gears, changed the settings on it to sport, etc., and a little bit firmer. And I have to say, and I've always said this, I do like the instant torque of my Porsche Taycan. Get out of the way of this car. But saying that, at the same time, I miss the interaction that you have with the car, changing down, hearing the engine, so you work together in harmony. But I can feel, and it feels strange, and if you've driven both an electric car and a petrol car or a diesel car, you'll understand this, but it sounds like I'm crazy. Hear me out. You can feel the delay between putting your foot down and the car actually going. Whereas an electric car, it's just put your foot down and boom, you're gone. You just literally gone straight away. Now, I've said all along in all my videos, the issue that I have with electric cars is choice. We're having choice taken away from us from 2035 or 2030. If that Cockwomble Miliband gets his way, he'll put it back to 2030. You can't buy a brand new internal combustion engine car, and we're being told that, and I think that's wrong. I think it's totally wrong. If you want an electric car, go and buy an electric car. If you want a petrol car, go and buy a petrol car. And that's where my issue is. And stop telling me I am going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit, which I just have done for a second, and telling me what lane I'm in. Do you know, it's crazy. That's where my issue's been, where we're having choice taken away from us. So there we have it. It's a nice car, and it's nice to hear the engine and have feedback, but I do miss that instant torque. And if you've driven both, let me know in the comment section down below. You will understand. I need this lane because otherwise we're going to Blackpool. You will understand that there is a delay, and there isn't in an EV. So we'll give it a little bit more of a drive, but this is a very, very nice car. I do like Audis, I have to say. I do like Audis. It's built nice, it's really nice. I've just been speaking though to a friend of mine who is a driver. He's a professional driver, he's a chauffeur, and he drives around lots of famous people, and he has an Audi A8 long wheelbase, but as his personal car that he drives himself around in is a Tesla. And if I hear the words, because I said to him, oh, I've just taken my Taycan in for its umpteenth recall, and he went, I think you'll find you should have got a Tesla. I said, don't say that, do not say that. Those words that they utter from Tesla drivers. Anyway, we'll carry on driving. Nice car. I did speak to Porsche, by the way. The software update for the Porsche is the latest one that they're putting on. It monitors the batteries and it does other things as well. It's supposed to increase your range, but we shall see. We'll give it a little bit of a test in another video. So, you've obviously seen, if you've seen my videos, you've obviously seen me do my road trips with Jeff Buys Cars, and I rang him yesterday. I spoke to him. He's in Dubai at the moment, having the time of his life, driving Dodge Chargers and Porsche 911s, and I said, oh yeah, I'm having my my Taycan recalled again for the umpteenth time. And he sent me a little video, well, a few videos that I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to pin them all together for you. And he's driving his lovely, gorgeous 911, and it sounds absolutely amazing. So and if you've not subscribed to his channel, by the way, head over and subscribe, because he's doing a tour at the moment, a world tour. He's going all over the place, renting different cars and having the time of his life. So I've been watching him, and it's really interesting. So let me just change down here. So head over and subscribe to his channel if you're not already. But anyway, let me pop that video in. Here's Jeff Buys Cars.
Lee, I hear you're having some problems with your Porsche Taycan again. back in the UK. Well, I'll tell you exactly what your problem is. You bought the wrong one. No, you shouldn't have bought a Tesla. What you should have done is got a proper 911 like I have. I've taken my channel abroad for a little bit, and we're going to be trying different hire cars from around the world. And tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be a superstar because I've got this one. It's a proper car and it makes proper sounds. Unlike yours, the only sound I think it makes is scratching heads in the workshop. Here you go, Lee. This is what a real car sounds like.
There you go, Jeff Buys Cars. Right, well, make sure you head over and subscribe to his channel if you've not already, and you can follow his journey across the globe hiring different cars as well. Jeff rents cars, Jeff Buys Cars, rents cars. Anyway, I'll put his link in the description down below and at the end. All right, okay, I am 1 mile an hour over for a second. Put it on cruise control at 70. Now then, I've had a gentleman email me. Forgive me, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he sent me an email, and I believe he's got an electric car. And he said, and I think it was Toddington Services. Toddington Services. I'll put it on screen. I'm pretty sure it is Toddington Services or something like that. Anyway, he said where they've got the chargers, where GridServe have put their chargers, I believe, it's right near where lorries park. So you've got people, and he has an electric car. He said, can you show this on your channel? And they've put the chargers right where lorries park, so people can't get in very easily to charge their electric cars. Or if they do charge their electric cars, they're getting stuck because a lorry will pull up and then they can't get out, so they're stuck on the charger. So here's a photograph of it now. There you go. And also where it is. I think it's Toddington, but like I say, I'll put it on screen. You can see there. So there you go. It's absolutely crazy. A lot of the issue with electric cars is still the infrastructure and where they put these charge points. They put them in ridiculous places. Surely if the governments were serious about electric cars, then they'd do the same with they've done with filling stations and put a canopy over the top so that you're nice and dry, a little bit like, and although they're expensive, right, GridServe have a charging forecourt, a charging electrical charging forecourt. They've got a few of them, one at Gatwick Airport and a couple more down south as well, but they've actually got it right. Okay, they've actually got it right. GridServe have got how it should be right. They just need to look at the price of what they're charging for electricity. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, electric charging companies have to charge VAT on their electricity, whereas if you charge at home, tell me if I got this wrong, evangelists, how do you know I've got one hand on the steering wheel? Right, okay, if you charge at home there's no VAT, I'm pretty sure, and if you charge out and about on public chargers, then you're charged VAT, which adds to the price of it. Again, if the government were serious, surely they'd say to charge point companies, don't charge VAT on it, because it gets expensive charging out and about on public chargers, unless you've got a Tesla, according to my mate who was just charging up his Tesla. He went, I think it's 30 something pence a kilowatt or whatever, and it is cheaper if I charge on with my Porsche charging card. But out and about, if you're not charging on a membership card, it's more expensive. So there you go. Anyway, charge point companies, do it like GridServe's doing it, and have a proper place where you can go in and have a coffee, have a canopy over the top of you so that if it's raining you're not going to get wet, and you've got disabled charge points there as well, so people with disabilities, somebody comes out and helps you. So hats off to GridServe there for that one, I have to say, for their charging point, their charging station of the future. But you know, there we go. Anyway, onwards. I get quite a few emails from, believe it or not, people who have got electric cars. And there was one, stop it, beeping and buzzing and vibrating all the time. Do you know what? The EU, with all these rules of lane assist, where it drags the wheel out your hand because you're not in the middle of the lane when I am. Anyway, we digress. I get a lot of emails from people who own electric cars, and I think, you know, they watch my channel with me whinging and moaning about electric cars, and they send me an email. Now, gentlemen, if you're watching, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, it's in my emails. I get hundreds of emails from people, but this one stuck out. He has a Polestar, and he'd bought a brand new Polestar electric car. And to be fair, I'm going to say this, I don't dislike, it doesn't get me overly excited, if you know what I mean, but I don't dislike the shape of the Polestar. I'm not keen on the Polestar 2 with that thin window at the back, but the Polestar, it looks like a car. You know, it's not I don't think it's a particularly ugly car for an electric car. It's not a sexy car. Stop it. It's not beeping. It's not a sexy car by any means, but it's not an ugly car. Anyway, he sent me an email, and he's had it a few months, I think 4 or 5 months from memory, can't remember, and he wanted to send it back because he said he's found out he's doing a lot of miles, and for him, he's waiting around charging, and he said it's not really for me. He does like the way that it drives, admittedly, but I've always said that electric cars do drive quite nicely, the responsiveness, etc. You've just not got that interaction. But anyway, he can't hand it back because of the negative equity that he's in. He's in so much negative equity. These electric cars lose so much money. It's unbelievable. Now, you might think, well, I've lost a lot of money. Well, you'd think, well, a lot of people will say, well, it's a Porsche, what do you expect? Well, this is a Polestar, and he's lost an absolute fortune on it. And that's what bothers me as well. Electric cars, EVs, I think because they're a throwaway disposable item, the price of them just plummets. And that's another issue with electric cars. The depreciation on them that I've experienced is insane. It's just crazy. Anyway, there you have it. I've got 75 miles left in my tank.
Watch out.
And I've got no anxiety. I've got no anxiety. None whatsoever. It's great. I can just go in and fill up and be on my way. I don't even have to wait around and have a coffee. I've got to say, I've just put the stereo on in here. Now, in my Taycan, I think it's a Bose sound system. In here, I put the stereo on, and I thought, what's going on here? Sounds absolutely fantastic. And I've just looked down at the speakers, and it's a Bang & Olufsen system. What an absolutely gorgeous sound. I used to have Bang & Olufsen years ago. It sounds amazing. I want this stereo system from this car.
In 1 mile.
I need.
Exit to the left.
I need this stereo system. Be quiet. I need it. I need the stereo system. Kajagoogoo sounds amazing on this system. Actually, I'm just kidding. I've got Simply Red holding back the years. By the way, I've just had a little notification. You've only got 70 miles left. You need to, I nearly said charge up. You need to fill up. But I'm going to go in. There's a filling station up here. I'm only going to put, I think, probably about 20 quid in, because it's not my car and I don't want to leave them with more fuel than, you know what I'm saying. Sorry, Porsche leads, but you know, you're a lot richer than me. So I'm just going to put enough in to get me back down again, because I'm pretty sure they won't have charged my car up for me. Anyway, yeah, it's nice to be back in a, petrol. Not have any range anxiety. It's convenience, isn't it? That's what it is. It's convenience. Electric cars are inconvenient. Anyway, right, come on, onwards. Now this is going to be interesting because I drive, this is the A590, I drive up this hill quite a bit in my Taycan, and the torque on the Taycan has more torque than I do, which is saying something, and it literally just flies up the hill. Now with this, I'm putting my foot down, and I can feel the delay, and it's going, oh, 1 mile an hour over, need to pull down. It's going, but it's not, it's changing. I can feel it changing down. Yeah, it's changing down. It's not got the same amount of oomph as my Taycan has. Some of you will say, well, it's a Porsche, what do you expect? But this is an Audi, and it's a, I'm going to change down and just get it. You can feel it is not taking it in its stride, like taking it in its stride. See what I did there? Yeah, the torque on the, come on, that's it. My ears are popping. Yeah, the Taycan, the electric car, does have more instant go, if you know what I mean. Instant oomph. Anyway, I tell you what, I bet it's a lot quicker to fill this one up than it is to charge. We'll see. I do need a baguette though, so I'm going into Greggs while I'm there. I'm going to fill it with petrol, go in, have a quick wee, get a Greggs baguette, pay for my fuel and get back in the car. And I bet you I can do all that quicker than charging my Taycan up to 80% from 20. Right, okay, let's turn this off, turn the engine off. Okay, it is now 11:17, so let's see how long this takes me. Right, okay my friends, just watch where I'm going here because people are just whizzing through. It is now 11:24. I went in, I filled up, come to 1933 I think it was. Let me just get out of here. Okay, 1 second. Come to 1933. Got myself a Greggs baguette, a Ribena, and some crisps, and had a wee and did all that. 11:23. Make sure I'm not going over the speed limit, and that's how quick it is. It's just convenient, isn't it? And I've got 175 miles and I'm only just over a quarter full. I'd literally, I could go in there, fill up totally, and I'd have hundreds of miles with no range anxiety. Obviously I've not filled it all the way up because I'm taking it back in a bit, but it's just, oh, it's just so easy. So convenient. Okay, it might not have that instant torque, but it's convenient. And cars are all about freedom. And that's what we're being taken away. We're having our freedom taken away from us. Anyway, I've got a couple of things to do. I need to eat my baguette, etc. So I shall see you in about, well, it'll be only a few seconds for you. So I'll see you very shortly. Right, okay, so Porsche Centre Leaders have called. My car's ready. They said it needed some windscreen wipers, which will cost 50 odd pounds, I think it was. And I said, are they just Bosch windscreen wipers? They went, yes. I said, I'll get them from Halfords. So I'm going to do that. Why pay £30 more than I need to? Hey, I'm from the north, well, the Midlands. But you know, anyway, it also needs 2 rear tyres, which they said on the video. Here's a copy of the video, the report of my car.
Hi, it's Dominic with Porsche. It's going to have a health check on your vehicle today, and we'll start going over the rear tyres as some attention is required here. Measurements on the driver's rear tyre is 2.9 millimetres on the inside, 1.9 in the middle, and then 2.5 on the outside. So you can see there just how close the tyres are to the legal limit. Well, 1.6 is the legal limit, 1.9 in the middle, so very close to the wear bars. So the tyres will need replacing as soon as possible. There's no other damage in the tyre or anything. It's wearing nice and evenly. And then the near side rear has a little bit more tread, 2.4 outside, 2.3 middle, and then 3 on the inside. Same again. Very close to the wear bars. So I'd recommend both rears replace at the same time. Rear brakes and suspension all in good condition. Still good thickness on the brake pads. And then all the underbody of the rear, again, all in good condition. So the only thing to report at the rear is the rear tyres. Moving forward to the front of the vehicle, battery cover, again, all in good condition. There's no scratches or dents anywhere. That's all fine. And then front underbody cover, again, in perfect condition. And then the front tyres, the driver's front, 5.7 on the outside, 4.8 in the middle, and then 5.2 on the inside. So front tyres in excellent condition. Looks like they've been replaced fairly recently. And again, there's no damage, no punctures or anything. And then the near side front, 4.9 inside, 4.4 middle, and then 5.3 on the outside. And then as well, no damage or anything. And then front brakes looking good as well. Again, brake pads nice and thick. And then front suspension. Again, no issues to report. All the ball joints and bushes in good condition. So no issues to report from the front end. And then just a few other little things to advise. The front wiper blades are smearing, so I'd recommend some new wiper blades as soon as possible. And also the service is due. Service is due over 20,000 on the Taycan. Last one at 40,000, so we'll need a service doing as well. And that's it. Thank you.
There you go. But I've already told them that I've got my car booked in at Glenn's Tyres in Mansfield for a lot cheaper, for £303 or £304 or something like that. So that's going in next week, and I'll get my windscreen wipers done at Alfred's. It does, however, need a service, which is going to be about £600. So I've got to book it in for a service. Now then, stop beeping at me. Tesla owners, do you have to service a Tesla? Let me know in the comment section. I've had 2 services on this Taycan before. What do they actually service? What is there to service on an electric car? Let me know in the comment section. Can I just say how pathetic the EU are, right? I've got a bottle of Ribena here, right, I'm going to have a swig of, and I'm trying to open the lid. I'm thinking, what's going on? And it's got them, like, plastic things to hold on to it. So I just tear it off. So EU, whoever thought of that stupid idea, it's just ridiculous. I literally just peel it off. And it's supposed to be like, oh, it saves the environment. I always put the lid back on the bottle anyway. What a stupid idea. Now I've got sharp bits. Shut up. And I've got my steering wheel yanking it out my hand because it's saying I'm not in the lane. I'm in the middle. I'm in the lane and it's yanking. It's dangerous. The EU, the people of the EU who come up with these rules, right? You are buffoons. Pathetic buffoons. I'd love to see the group of people at the EU. Send me a link to them so I can actually send them a video or tweet them this video. People of the EU that's come out with all these stupid ideas like lane assist and all this beeping and stuff. Stop it. We don't need it. We don't need you to come up with these stupid ideas. Just go back to eating your sandwiches with your crusts cut off and your apple that your mum or your wife's packed you, and your wife's probably called Beryl or I don't know, or Vera or something like that. Jeez. Anyway, onwards. Let's go and get my Taycan back. But I tell you what, I'm actually quite liking this car. It's nice. I've got 145 miles of stop it. I've got 145 miles now of petrol left and a quarter of a tank. I reckon I'd get over 500 miles if I filled this up. I'd love to do that and actually do the same trip that I did from John O'Groats to Land's End in my electric car in this car, and I tell you what, I'd be a lot less stressed at the end of the journey. Onwards, my friends. The stereo, by the way, superb. I've got to tell you, I'm liking the flappy paddle gearbox back again, because I've had so many flappy paddle gearboxes in my Boxsters. I really like them. I just love flappy paddle gearboxes, and I reckon it's because I used to keep my hands on the steering wheel and these 2 fingers on the flappy paddle gearbox. That's what these 2 fingers were made for, you know, changing gear. Whereas in an electric car, it's just, you only need I can't do it, but you only need your middle finger basically for the electric car, don't you? Anyway, stop beeping. getting a bit dark now, although the days are getting lighter now, day by day, aren't they, by so many minutes or seconds. Anyway, just gone by, my ears are popping again, just gone by an Ionic electric car, and it's bugged me for ages what it reminds me of, and it's clicked. I know exactly what the Ionic electric car reminds me of now, and it reminds me of the cars that you used to get in a cornflake box in the 1970s and 80s. You know, the plastic mould ones, the grey plastic mould where there'd be nothing inside the car, it'd just be the shape of a car, and then you turn it over and the bottom would be hollow. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of one of the plastic cars that you used to get in a Kellogg's cornflake box. It was bugging me for ages, that. That's it. Right, back at Porsche at Leeds. My car's done, the software update's done. It's been washed, and it's over there. There we go. It's had the new brake hose put in it, and also I think it just needs, that's it, it just needs the tyres putting on now when I go back to Mansfield. Audi, what is it? The Audi A5 35 TF SI. Nice car, nice car. Little underpowered, I'd say. Little underpowered. Maybe that's me because of I'm used to driving the EVs, but we shall see. Anyway, I'm going to get back in my car in a minute. I'll meet you back in my car. I'm going to get my keys, and then we'll wind this video up and we'll see what's different on the PCM. It might be a bit darker though, but we'll figure that out. So I'll see you guys in my car or over at my car in a moment. Right, okay, back in the car. I can't see, I've switched everything on. I can't see anything different at the moment, system wise. It's got the new operating system on it. All looks exactly the same to me. Can't see anything different, to be honest. What I think I'll do is, I'll actually do a review on it. I'll drive it for a bit, and then I'll do another drive, a bit of a long distance drive, and I'll see what difference the new operating system has made. Brake wise, they've replaced the brake hose on it. I've got all the report there, and that's it. But everything else seems exactly the same. 105 miles of range, 48% of charge. So there we go. If you enjoyed that, give us a thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Right, I think I need to charge this up. Oh, but both chargers are taken up. Right, all right, well, I'll go and find another charger. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye. I don't know if you can see me, right? Just a little outro. Now I've jumped back in my Taycan. What I can tell you on the difference is I can feel how heavy this car is. It feels incredibly heavy, and you don't realise until you get out of it into a normal car. Really heavy. Very responsive, but heavy.